Welcome back, my guys. Final Fantasy VII Remake is known for its wild blend of nostalgia and fresh mystery. But few chapters capture that better than Chapter 9, The Town That Never Sleeps. What starts off as a mission to rescue Tifa quickly becomes a bizarre, theatrical dive into destiny, identity, and fate. Well, my guys, today we're going full deep dive on the hidden meaning and timeline-shaking implications of Chapter 9. So, buckle up, soldier. Welcome once again, guys, and I appreciate you guys here in the channel, and welcome to SimoRPG. We are a channel that enjoys RPGs, enjoys especially Final Fantasy VII Remake and all the lore on it. It's very awesome to continue to do content for a game that it was released 5 years ago. And it's still full of mystery, with the best theories ever and the lore. Most of the players, we love Cloud for what it is, we love Sephiroth, we love Tifa, Barrett, and all those amazing characters that Final Fantasy VII introduced us so many years ago on PlayStation 1. It is true that so many things changed in this version, or as we call it, the sequel. We still find this as a sequel and not as a brand new remake game. No, we still think this as a brand new game, not a remake, sorry. And notice that in this chapter shows us that Final Fantasy VII Remake will have such a bigger meaning in the lore, even bigger maybe than all the compilation, all the books, and all the other TV series, movie, and mobile games. Of course, it is important to know the lore, the story of Final Fantasy VII on PlayStation 1. But this brings a whole new meaning to some things in this game. Wall Market is a lot more than a colorful distraction. In the world that is dark and full of scheming and controlling, it seems that Wall Market is not like that. It represents a twisted mirror of Midgar, a place where nothing is what it seems. In a city controlled by Shinra, Wall Market is, free, kindish. Is it really free, or is it an illusion controlled by Don Corneo, which we know that he works for Shinra. At least for now, he works for Shinra. And he actually is very afraid of Shinra also. Don Corneo, who acts almost like a puppet master of fate in this chapter. He controls all of Wall Market. He controls everything around the city, but most of the things are still controlled by Shinra. I don't have any doubt he's powerful, and we'll see further ahead in the Colosseum and stuff. And even the roads that Aerith and Cloud, before checking Wall Market, they will travel incognito most of the times alongside secondary roads, not taking the main roads to Wall Market, because in this part of the game that we are seeing right now, what they are trying to accomplish is actually going to Sector 7 to meet Tifa. And that's where it starts, where everything starts around, is the fact that Cloud and Aerith are together in this journey only until Sector 7. Or is it? Because what we're going to see further ahead in all this chapter, in all these theories around this Chapter 9, is that maybe there's more to this chapter than just Wall Market, than just rescuing Tifa. Of course, you need to notice how everyone plays a role in this section of the game, in this chapter 9. Now, Cloud wants to go and meet Tifa and get back to her on Sector 7 and to Avalanche, to receive his payment. No, I'm just kidding. He just wants to go there because he was supposed dead. They lost him there. But along the way, we're gonna find some bandits and a funny trio of bandits that, spoiler alert, we will see it once again in Wall Market. And even more spoilers, guys, we will see them on Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which is fun. And they will say, oh, I left crime, I left everything, so I'm good now, don't get upset, don't get mean. And it's fun. It is really fun to see, like Burke, Beck, and I'm trying to remember Burke, Beck, and Butch change completely over the game and over the series, which is also very fun to have there. And like I said, this huge chapter, because this is a huge chapter, we are trying to summarize one of the biggest chapters of this game in around 40 minutes, I guess. Yeah, more or less 40 minutes. And we are, trying to compile everything, which is not easy, believe me, it is not easy to compile everything and talk about it also. But here it goes. We have Cloud and Aerith just ready to strike, ready to go. Sector 7, meeting Tifa, Barrett, and the others from Avalanche. But when they arrive there, as you know, if you played the game, and if you don't play the game yet, sorry for the spoiler, but they will see Tifa in the back of a chocobo carriage, being taken to Wall Market to meet Don Corneo. Behind that, it's Tifa. Tifa has a mission, and her mission is to know what is the planning, to know what is Shinra doing. And of course, we also know what happens next. We know that we have several chapters leading up to the plate falling. Sector 7 plate will fall on Remake as well. And we'll see also the meaning of that in the next few chapters. Not only that, we're going to see what the Whispers do and why are the Whispers so involved also in this chapter, although they don't appear physically. Once again, this chapter is very, very important, and this scene, especially in Sector 6 Slums Evergreen Park, is just huge, because if you play the other games from the compilation, this is the same park that Aerith and Zack spend time together. They're selling flowers together, which is funny. We all know that that's one of the parts that is funny. Not only that, they will sit just like that right now on the top of the playground, talking just like Aerith did with Zack. And when she asks him about Zack, about a friend, if he knows, it will mean that Zack and Cloud are tied together in this timeline. This happens in the OG as well, so this is a big reference to all of us. Coming back to Walmart, coming back to everything around Walmart, is, like I said, everyone plays a role. You know?
What's his name?
The trio, which we're going to be presented to them, the guards, the dancers, even Cloud has to become someone else. And you see the reaction, you know, when Aerith says the name of Zack, is already with a fractured mind. So it's very, very, very good to see the relationship between this chapter, the OG Final Fantasy VII, because we didn't get to see it in Final Fantasy VII OG. No, not on this detailed thing. You don't see him shaking his head and stuff. So this is very important to know what Zack, you know, the story between Zack and Cloud and the fractured mind of Cloud, bringing him those memories of Zack. He knows by now that something is not right. He knows by now that something is off. What he doesn't know is what? What he doesn't know is why I feel so out of place. And Sector 7 is a reminder of that as well, you know. Because at this gate was always where Aerith and Zack met most of the times. Of course, the church was very important on Sector 5, but this is very, very important right here, you know. They bonding together in this park. Now we're introducing part of Wall Market, and this is where we see Tifa for the first time after the fall of Cloud, after the Airbuster boss fight. He's going to check on Tifa, and he is going to run to try to understand. She can't explain, she's in a hurry. We're gonna see all that in the video. But becoming someone else and everyone playing a role in Wall Market, what if this is a symbolic thing? Is Cloud's identity really stable here, or is something deeper trying to surface? We saw that when Aerith talks about Zack, and of course we all know what happens here. Cloud needs to put on a dress and be a girl for the night, I guess. But this thing goes way deeper in Wall Market. You know, Aerith and Cloud right now, you know, the Blossoming Bond in the Multiverse Clue, which I love this title right here. For me, Chapter 9 is where we see Aerith and Cloud bond, but also where Aerith's weird insight returns. She's calm, confident, and constantly nudging Cloud's toward choices. It's like she knows, you know. And after this amazing cutscene with Tifa, we will see once again what Aerith will do to Cloud. Aerith will not give no choice. See? Oh no, you don't. You're going after her. See? Immediately, there's no choice. It seems like the fate of things need to be like this, and she knows. Now, we all have the theory that Aerith knows what she's doing. So, yeah, definitely she knows what is going on, and she knows more from this part of the future that she seems to want to talk about it. There's no choice here for Cloud. You know, these choices might seem cosmetic, but what if they echo of other timelines, like we saw with Zack's name? Like Aerith is remembering what happens in versions of reality where she chooses differently and guiding Cloud through the path that changed fate the most. You know, is Aerith subtly shaping this chapter to force a break from destiny? Could this be why the whispers are strangely absent here? Could Aerith doing something that the whispers can't do here? Well, we definitely don't know for 100% sure, but it is fun to see this part of the game like this. At least, no doubt about it, it seems to be that. Madam M, Chocobo Sam, and Andrea is agents of destiny? So, we didn't met them in Final Fantasy VII OG. We met them here. We didn't need to do all those crazy things, you know, we need to deliver a few things, get a wig, you know, get a dress and stuff like that. But here, Sam appears. You know, not only Sam, Madam M and Andrea, which we don't know. Let's talk about them. Let's talk about the trio. You'd think they're just, you know, work characters, but every single one tests Cloud's identity and resolve. Now we see, for example, Sam shows him the direction where Tifa is going, you know, shows them, and informs him that he's going to Don Corneo. And he is very relaxed about it. Sam is very relaxed. Cloud is also very relaxed to not jeopardize the mission itself.
Can I have your name? Oh, we don't have an appointment. I see. I'm terribly sorry, sir.
What we see here with Sam is chill. He knows where Tifa is going. Is he an agent of destiny as well? Because you know, he seems so, you know, out of it and kind of don't care, I guess. Which is, well, kind of funny if you think about it. Of course, the first thing that we visit is Honeybee Inn, which is the highlight of Wall Market, and everybody loves it in there. Everybody wants to get in, talk with Andrea, but one of the main figures here is Madam M. Madam M literally tells Cloud his fate is tied to Aerith, and yet she constantly pressures him to think independently. It's crazy, right? She checks his hand, she does that crazy massage, I don't know, it's just crazy this. All of this around Walmart is just crazy, you know, it's just, it's fun. I'm not gonna say it's not fun, because it is. But it's just, you know, it's crazy, it's not normal, I guess. And then, of course, we got Andrea. Now, Andrea is a gatekeeper. Cloud must literally be reborn through a performance. It's not just fun, it's symbolic. You know, you're talking about the soldier reborn as something else. It's like a moment where Cloud constructed identity starts to crack. Could be really, really off here. Yes, but I do like the way that they did things in this game, especially You know, the tournament parts, they put it the Hell House, the way that Andrea feels about Cloud once they win the tournament. Still, very weird section in the game, in my opinion, but it's a good one. You know, it seems good. You know, it's way different from we had from Final Fantasy VII. So once again, specifically, one of the theories is that these three, and we'll go to more in depth with Andrea right now, these three are actually agents of fate. They are there for a reason. You know, to change Cloud mentality, to prepare him for what is coming. The thing that I like the most is we don't see the whispers of fate right here, and all of this that we see is way different from Final Fantasy VII on PlayStation 1, from the main story. You don't have a tournament to go. You do not meet Madame M, Andrea, or Chocobo Sam. You know, and why now? Because they will be back. They will be back in Rebirth. So, are they still agents of fate by this time? Or are they just, well, simply spectators of fate? I think one of the things that changes this whole analysis on this game is the fact that they are there with that purpose, the purpose of setting Cloud9 free. Do they know that? Nah, I don't think they know that. I doubt it, actually, that they know what are their roles in the story. But they do it, and they do it very well. Funny part is, this is just a tournament. It's not a very big thing, but it's really, really important in a way that opens a brand new branch of the timeline. What do I mean with that? Now, Final Fantasy VII, it's very straight. You don't meet any of them. You go there, you find a wig, find makeup, find a dress for Cloud, and that's it.
Try not to get yourselves killed.
I can't remember, but I think even Aerith remains with the same dress. Can't remember that, to be honest. I'll need to dig deeper a bit more on that. But that's what happened. So why now? Why in this? No, to extend the game maybe? I guess not. I think there's another whole meaning behind that. And why? Because this is a different timeline from the OG. This is not the game that we played. But I think we all know that by now, right? Before we're going to the Honeybee Inn, or that ritual of transformation, before we step into the video for that, we talk about it a bit more. You know, we see a bunch of mini boss fights here in the Colosseum. It's a fun part. It's a filler for me. This is just, you know, to gain access to Andrea, to gain access to the part that Cloud must be reborn on that, you know, dance part, which is really crazy if you think about it once again. But is where the transformation happens. I don't think they add or that they put a big emphasis on that on the main game, you know, on Final Fantasy VII on PlayStation 1. It was just a fun part, you know. Aerith needs to get dressed like a lady to impress Corneo, and hopefully he actually gets picked by Corneo to be the bride of the night. So strange, dudes. That's one of the most strange things in this game ever. But that happened. And that happened here as well on Final Fantasy Remake. Final Fantasy VII Remake. But with a deeper meaning, and like we said, this, no doubt about it, shows that this is a brand new timeline that will not mix itself with the main story. Although the Whispers try it, although these agents of fate, you know, Chocobo Sam, Madame M, and Andrea. You know, it cheated dead more than once. That's, you know, something that actually happened there. Talking about the ritual of transformation starts here, you know. Starts on this very tournament. Let's talk about Honeybee Inn. This place is not just fan service. You know, it could be because, you know, we did love the mysterious way and adult way that was presented especially on Final Fantasy VII, right? We didn't know, but it's a ritual space. Think about it. Cloud enters as a mercenary with a mission, right? Now we can see it here. Now the mercenary, the soldier, the powerful one, going at it against the Hell House. They win the tournament, and they need to win actually to unlock that part of the game. This is main story on Remake 7. Okay, this is main story, which is, you know, for me this was part of fan service with a deeper meaning. But it's just a ritual to get Andrea's attention, to construct this new Cloud identity that he needs to for rescuing Tifa. After this ends, of course, we see Cloud the mercenary here fighting, destroying the Hell House with the freaking jump. He's amazing, you know. He's amazing for someone that his mind is fractured, you know, and that, you know, never got the soldier training per se. We all know that from the Final Fantasy VII on PlayStation. From someone that didn't have the training. He's a badass, you know. Cloud is a mercenary. Cloud is, you know, relentless. He fights hard. He's good at it. And Andrea is convinced right now. And now, all the circle of it will start. And now, the Honeybee Inn will be the center stage of all. Cloud enters as a mercenary on the Honeybee Inn and leaves reborn as someone ready to confront Corneo's world. AKA a girl. Because that's what Corneo wants, and that's what is gonna save Tifa. It's crazy, isn't it? in all of this crazy market world, we get Aerith that you can have actually 3 customs, very basic if you don't do the side missions, a regular one if you actually do some, and well, the most beautiful dress ever if you do everything.
If you're sure you want to go through with this, then bring the girl and the letter.
But more important than that, more important than all the dresses that Aerith can have, even this lame one that we're about to see because I didn't want to do the side missions for Aerith. I'm sorry, I didn't. She's just too plain, but you all know the story, you know. If you do all the missions, it's gonna be a party, it's stunning, and Aerith is, you know, looking so good and so gorgeous, really nice dress, and so on and so forth. In here, I didn't want to do the side missions. You look fine. Let's go. The enemy in Cloud right now is definitely the important thing.
It's bad. Like super bad.
In the dance mini game that we're about to see, in myth and magic transformation often happens through performance, through a dancing. This scene forces Cloud to drop his mask, connect with Andrea, and allow himself to be changed.
The one asking me to stay.
Well, it's kind of a crazy thing, isn't it? You know, because once again, we're talking about a mercenary that becomes a girl to save Tifa.
By myself? Oh,
You know,
don't worry.
Andrea
Come on.
says in the final
According to
part of the dancing that true beauty is an expression of the heart, and here we see, you know, this is really fun. This is one of the mini games that I really enjoy to do because this is fun, you know. I never understand quite the meaning for this, but after talking about it with several players and several lore geeks that I love so much, they actually explain me that Andrea might be more than a performer. He might be a planet-sent guide, nudging Cloud to accept the fluidity of identity, which is key when you consider the themes of Cloud's false memories and fractured mind. And that just makes all sense. And of course, we got this amazing game, right? The mini game right now, it just awesome. You know, everything, the dance, the performance. You know, we have Aerith also there cheering for him. You know, he's dancing. It's really good gameplay right there. It's a whole different meaning on the game. Andrea actually sets Cloud free. That's one of the main theories that we have. It's after this dancing, after this performance from Cloud, is set free to pursue other things, to pursue the rest of the game, the rest of his persona, and is more able to identify the fractured minds. But like I said, you know, most of the people think that Andrea might be a planet-sent guide, okay? For Cloud to accept his real self and his identity, not him being Zack, not it being, well, any other character, but being Cloud as it is. Well, we never knew that Cloud would dance so much. So the standpoint on this is that Cloud here is allowing Andrea to shape his mind to not be trapped on someone else's identity. So this is the theory with Andrea, Madame M, and Chocobo Sam, the three guardians of fate, or like I said before, the agents of destiny. It's not explained so far in the game. They don't explain that. Although it's a fun part of it, they do not explain deeply what happened to Cloud in this transformation. See? Yes, I will transform you into a vision of beauty. It's fun. It's just fun. It's a fun part of the game, and also with deep meaning about the fractured identity that Cloud has, and the way that he can change his ways around. You know, and of course we will see the beauty on Cloud, which is crazy to see this mercenary transform into a young lady. Crazy what they do. You were born for this. It's crazy. I try to understand why they put the born in italic, but maybe in another deep dive I can actually find something alongside other players and other theorists about this game. After this, we are going to check the bad guy on Wall Market. Don Corneo, the false god of Wall Market. Corneo's throne room is staged like a temple. Now we're gonna see after this. With him as a grotesque god. But remember, he doesn't have real power. He's a puppet. He's actually a Chira puppet as well. So there's nothing there. You know, he's not powerful or nothing like that. He's just, a bad guy that Chira has in his pocket. And he's that's scared of Chira. Very, very scared. In this part is just lovely. Tifa is lovely on this part for Cloud. And I don't know how she doesn't see Cloud. But immediately now Cloud, is that you? Oh my god, that makeup and that dress, it's crazy now. Nailed it, I know, thank you. Moving on. So, his choices only appear to matter, In truth, the planet's real forces are watching. The absence of whispers may mean this entire chapter is meant to play out naturally. It's the way it's supposed to be. And even with all the differences that we had from the OG one to this, the final part, the part that really, really needed to happen, it's okay. It played out naturally. Or it's already a safe zone from the rules of destiny. And why is the safe zone? It's because everything did happen like that. Like it was supposed to, No, but then we see Corneo picking Cloud, the trapdoor, the questions, everything, But here comes the crazy theory. Here comes the craziness. What if, bear with me, this is not my theory, but it was a fun theory that we actually had from a follower from the SimRPG channel. What if Corneo is like a distorted reflection of Sephiroth? A man who manipulates others but doesn't understand the bigger picture. Well, I do think it's a bit of a stretch here, But it's a fun way to think about it, doesn't it? It's actually a very fun way to think about it. This creepy old guy with crazy haircut, the leopard, the red coat, and he's just too disgusting. This guy is just disgusting. So a distorted reflection of Sephiroth. Well, I think it would be the opposite of Sephiroth, for that matter. But he still doesn't understand the big picture. Does Sephiroth understand the big picture? That's a good question. Maybe for other video on this. So, throughout Chapter 9, Cloud's behavior shifts. He shows hesitation, embarrassment, even confusion. It's more than just awkwardness. It's early signs of a fractured psyche. We already know that, Aerith often watches him in these moments, almost like she's looking for signs of another version of him. Could it be that she's checking if this is the same Cloud she remembers from another life, another timeline? Can it be? Well, in generally, yes. It can be that. Why not? This isn't just fun cosplay. It's a moment that breaks Cloud's barriers and maybe even lets his true self shine through. Whoever that self really is. Because we definitely don't know. Well, Chapter 9 isn't just about a rescue mission. It's a story of identity, transformation, and unseen force pulling strings. Just to recap on the theories, Wall Market. Number 1, we have 6. Wall Market reflects the illusion of choice and freedom. Just like Shinra, Corneo gives us that Aerith may be manipulating fate as well. The Wall Market Trio act as guides testing Cloud's mind and heart. The Annie is a symbolic rebirth of Cloud and Cloud's persona or acceptance. 5. Don Corneo plays the role of a false god in a world he doesn't understand because he's just a puppet. Usually puppets do things they don't understand, but they do it. That's it. And Cloud's identity is starting to fracture, and Aerith might already know. She knows since he spoke Zack's name, which is normal. Chapter 9 masks itself as comedy, but underneath the glitter is a serious unraveling of Cloud's identity and fate's grip on the world, on this world of Final Fantasy VII lore. And we're just getting started, because the next few chapters will be even bigger. This is a beautiful chapter, a long one, full of things to do if you want to do everything. If, well, like me, you got a bit lazy this time, I'm playing in hard mode, maybe you didn't do everything that you should have done, but it's all good, But the story in itself, it's definitely way deeper than we thought. Especially, like I said, this is not just a rescue mission. So, did you catch any other hints of symbols in Chapter 9? Well, drop them in the comments below. And if you're loving this deep Final Fantasy VII Remake theory content, well, you know what to do. Smash that like button, subscribe, ring the bell to call Corneo, and, well, you know what to do. We appreciate you so much in everything that you do for our channel. And as we can see, once again, Final Fantasy VII Remake is not the same game. Is not only a remake, is a sequel. And in this lore, in this old story,
are they planning?
we can see that they plan things.
See, I'm not so sure they are.
We appreciate you so much and everything. We just reached
For us, special.
50 subscribers in our channel, and we are so pleased to say that our next goal will be reaching 60 now. We are so happy to have all your support, and well, the videos are going really good and organically good. So like I said earlier, if you do like this, subscribe to our channel and share the content. We really need it. It helps the stream grows as well, helps the channel grows, and well, I can bring you more of this stuff. Okay. This lovely chapter 9, is one of the most fun ones to play in Final Fantasy VII Remake. So,
We gotta go.
my guys, I appreciate every single thing that you guys do. Thank you for helping me doing this as well, to all the subscribers of the channel and all the people around me that allow me to do that. Don't forget Simo RPG, we appreciate it. We also have Symbolism. Then and well, until next time, dear friends, stay fabulous, soldiers. Until the next video, this is Symbolism from Simo RPG. Thank you so much for watching.